Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Phil Conway. And I'm so happy you are here and you said yes. How are you doing today?
I am awesome. Life is awesome. So good to be with you. Thank you for inviting me to share with you and you to share with
Oh,
me.
yes, let's share our thoughts about inspiration and let's say a few words about how we met. So, we used to be PGI consultants for the Procter Gallagher Institute first, and then we met at the Napoleon Hill Institute. We were both founding members.
Mm.
And I learned about you. You were 37 years in your family business. You are a club president with CEO space, and then you transitioned into coaching. What else? You love the spirit of collaboration and also networking. I'm sure you love this.
Oh, I love networking. I really love being a master connector. We're all here to serve people. And one of the greatest ways I think is to say, hey, when an idea or a person resonates and you say, that's very similar to this other person or this idea, let's have a conversation. And through that conversation, the fun is in discovering what two or three resonate strongest because I believe we always can connect in hundreds of ways. Every single person, I see the unity in things. So by looking at unity, not division, welcoming the distinction of each individual, that makes for a superpower connected.
Oh, that sounds great. I love your choice of words. You know, me as the non-native speaker, I love learning new words and expressions and implementing them in my vocabulary. Thank you so much for being here, for saying yes. And my first question is, what inspires you?
What inspired me? Well, it isn't about speaking more German because I could do that, but I'd be dangerous if I did.
Yes.
um, I love being inspired by seeing the best in people and understanding that wherever we are, it's just where we are at this moment in life, whether it's, as a person, as a father, as a friend, as a family member, whether in my career, a profession, and to know that we can always be serving and finding ways to serve others and leave them better. This is what inspires me to have that freedom, just to be a free thinker. And I really enjoy hearing different points of views and things. And I have inspired when I get to think differently because I had a conversation with someone. And through those conversations, we learn how we're all the same in many ways. And there's always ways that we're unique. And how do we build that together? And that's what I really enjoy bringing community.
Wow, I love that definition. Yeah, I love that so much. Thank you. Because yeah, it's uniqueness in everyone, and then you see the unity and not the division you said. And this builds a community, maybe two words, conversation and unity. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And commerce. I mean, global, we're connected so much together in so much of ways right now, how we can be anywhere in the world and imagine when we think of these big ideas, people like Elon Musk, or there's a number of people who pretty soon will be able to go from Europe to the middle of the United States and maybe like an hour or so. Maybe we can go to Asia from the US in like an hour or two. Who knows, where we can go and how fast compared to like my grandmother was coming. She was born in 1914. The changes she saw in her 100 years of life, I'd love to see
Yeah.
those types of things happen. And I'd love to say 130 years of living if I can be constantly creative and independent and free.
Yes, we are all free and we are free thinkers as well. Thank you for mentioning your grandmother. My grandfather was born in 1912, so I can relate to that.
My
And you
grandfather was. I had 2 grandfathers that were born in 1912, so
oh, it was a great year because, yeah, it was the year when the Titanic was had a had an accident.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say when Fenway Park was built. That's where our Boston Red Sox baseball team plays.
Oh, that's amazing. So you mentioned several persons like Elon Musk and inventing the light speed. My next question is, who inspires you?
That's a excellent question, and I really enjoy that. To be truthful, at different moments, I can be inspired by different people, and in general, what would inspire me is someone who I think we see a future version of ourselves in that person, and when we see that in another person, to know that we have that inside of us and we can bring it out of us, how we can serve. So, people who have a message about how do we leave people better off? How do we serve others better? What what are the issues that people are looking at that become problems to some people, and how do we find a solution to those? That inspires me. And how to be healthier, how to live healthier, and how to really find ways that we all are connected and get along instead of why we should be separated. Those are the things that inspire me. Just a few of the things besides music and sports.
Oh, it's also, yeah, leaving everyone with the impression of increase, making the world a better place.
I love that. Love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, lesson 11. And you mentioned music. What kind of music do you prefer?
Oh, that's another great question. You guys, so many good questions, Caroline.
Oh,
The
thank
music, I really have a wide range, very from classical all the way up to current music. I really have an attraction to like the American songbook we call jazz music, that type of thing. And so my former wife was an opera singer. Her dad, who's now 91, turned this week, he's a piano player. He's a phenomenal jazz piano player. So through osmosis, I would learn some techniques and some ways of playing a piano from him and his jazz. And I have many that I really love to listen to in piano and listen to. So I'm not going to be the singer unless we're at karaoke, maybe, and it might be kind of an environmental influence that gets into that. I sing well in the shower and my car while driving. But yeah, I love all kinds of music. Really, every decade, I find things that I enjoy.
Wow, thank you so much. And I remember we were talking about music a little bit when we met in person in New York last year. This was our table conversation. I
Yes,
remember there
yes,
were
yes.
other people as well. It
Yeah,
was
I know we
great.
were looking for a piano. We couldn't find a piano to play because I like the idea of my growing up. My aunt would play piano, so we had family gatherings. So she would play piano. She played like you could call like what is it called? Anyway, it's like the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Mhm.
The words just seems to be escaping me. It's not called stride. Yeah, stride music type of thing. It's a form of the jazz music, and she's just had that way of playing music that just you feel good because it's just there. It's just
Yes.
way to connect.
Yeah, I think when I remember these years, no, I don't really, I was not alive at that time, but I watched the movies, of course. And when we are in this war setting, and then on the other hand, people playing music to distract the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like the big band and the swing music, and those are fun. And then of course I really do like the rock music, and I like a lot of the modern, I guess you can call it electronic type music. It really kind of just has a drive that keeps on going. But then again, I love meditation music too, something that can be calming and soothing and uh, doing some thinking. And sometimes for me, another thing of form of inspiration is when I get a chance to think and connect to my spirit. Basically, it's like in spirit, the connecting to infinite intelligence or the universe within ourselves, and whatever that is, it's the emotion of being connected to all that there is, our power, our source, however you would say God or universe, however word is appropriate for each person.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. And how do you inspire other people?
That is something that it's a variety of different ways. And from what I've heard from people is that because I've got this very clear, Napoleon Hill would call it a definite the purpose. So you through kindness, enthusiasm, and creativity, finding ways that help people to connect to themselves. And if I can be that person to help someone through a troubling time, or it could be something that they didn't see through the clouds, they were hazy, they didn't have clarity, and to help to bring clarity, that is one way I love to be of service to people, and having some tools and resources that bring that together for people. And that's where I really enjoy doing for professionals, individuals, either in an organization or for the organization itself too as a group.
Yes, that's so true. And I read your statement. It's stop being a drifter. So that means you help people stop being a drifter. And how do you do this?
Yeah, well, one of the big things is clarity is power, and I'm
Mhm.
a recovering drifter where I was always waiting. Oh, did I freeze here? Did you freeze?
Yeah,
Um,
you are back.
I'm back. I'm back. Watch out. The idea that you know, waiting for other people to make a change or external circumstances or anything outside of ourselves, where really we've got all the power and more so inside of us for every idea that we've got. The question is, what are we doing that we can believe this idea that we've got? And how do we
Mhm.
move that forward? And then how do other people find out about this idea that I've got? And, each of the listeners will have an idea. How will people find out your idea? And that's the whole idea. We got to be in action, doing it. And I, I had a couple things I was going to say, but go back
Mhm.
to the question. The question, original question was, how do I inspire others? Or was it the secondary question after that? I think.
Was stop being a drifter. How does
Not
it
being a
look
drifter. So
like?
yeah, so
Mhm.
drifters, it's just getting that clarity
Mhm.
and really just you don't have to be perfect. Just take the actions. Just take the actions and one step at a time. That's it. And to me, it's like also getting involved into a morning routine, a evening routine, and a daily study. So how do we study every day? I know a lot of people say, "Oh, what do I want to study for?" It's like I went out to college already. Well, the key thing is that you always be different every day when we study. Like we have to do our grooming and our washing and our bathing every day. So the same thing is that we have to keep our mind and our spirit uh, refreshed every day.
Yes. Wow, it's like a muscle we train.
Absolutely. We don't want to atrophy. We want it to be working for us.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah,
and how do we do this? By constant spaced repetition.
absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
This
So
is
are
yeah,
you studying in the morning? Is it like, is it book study? Is it, I remember you had something like, not 5 AM club. It was something in the morning, early in the morning in the Napoleon Hill Institute?
yeah. We have a
Oh,
phenomenal program called the Self Discipline Camp where we get it's really disrupting us because the habits that we all have produce the results. So if you're looking at a result, it's only an expression of those habits, the way we're thinking, the way we're emotionally either reacting or responding to what's around us. instead of understanding we are the source of creativity within ourselves. So how do we have shake ourselves up and do something different, get up an hour earlier, and probably get to bed an hour earlier. Even if we stay up an hour later, that's okay because we can either take a meditation, and I love a day nap, late
Mhm.
morning, early afternoon, take a nap. And I do love my coffee too. However, the idea is that we to shake up what wasn't working. And it's not like we can lose those old habits or lose that controlling within ourselves. As our friend and mentor Bob Proctor would talk about paradigms being that inside of us that virtually controls almost all of the things that we decide, that we how we operate and what we do for habits. So we want to create the new habits, and we want the old habits to atrophy. We want those to go away. We don't want our mind to go away because our mind is more powerful than our emotions. If we take the proper steps, we have the right environment with people, and we really stay focused on where we want to go.
Yes, we focus from the goal. That's true. And we can build new, how was it? A new model that makes the old one obsolete.
Oh, I love that.
And
Buckminster Fuller. Yeah, that's a great quote.
oh, yes.
We used to. I got connected because I didn't realize he was the architect who created the geodesic dome house, which is that multi-shaped type of gave open space to engineering, and so engineers could create more open spaces. And yeah, so yeah, I love that. It's like if something's not working, we don't like just cut it out. We just create something. We can't fight. We had because
Mhm.
Robert Collier through Secret of the Ages would write, every experience I've had comes from my thoughts. I
Mhm.
can't be healthy if I'm thinking sick thoughts. I can't
Mhm.
be prosperous if I'm thinking, poverty thoughts. I can't have abundance if I'm thinking scarcity. So whatever those thoughts are, those are the new models that we want to create for ourselves. And we can't fight those. We have to, like Jack Canfield would often talk about the idea of how uh, Mother Teresa, and she will not
Mhm.
fight poverty. She wanted to encourage ways for people to give and to nurture and to feed other people. That's what we were doing. And you can't fight cancer so much as you can more be thinking of wellness and health and wellness. And the mind is a great place to start because if your minds and your thoughts can get you sick, your minds and your thoughts can get you well.
Yes. Wow. This is amazing. Okay, my next question is, what are your gifts and talents?
What is I'm sorry,
Your gifts and talents.
my gifts and
Yeah.
talents?
Mhm.
Oh, I like to say that my purpose is it's what it is. It's enthusiasm, creativity, kindness. Those are things that come naturally to me. And I have a willingness to find the good in everything. So I think a good attitude is very important. Is how do we can go through adversity, but as Napoleon Hill would say, within every adversity lies the seeds of something greater.
Mhm.
So with an attitude of not always being positive, yet finding the good in it, and we find the good, we say, how can we use this good
Yeah.
for improving ourselves, improving others? And because one thing I don't resonate with, and there's a lot of people who talk positive, and sometimes it can be toxic. The toxic
Mhm.
positivity, from my perspective, is that people don't acknowledge negative or they don't acknowledge adversity. They only
Mhm.
will keep positive, but they're not really looking at the whole picture. So being holistic and
Yes.
looking at both sides, that's an area in me that I like to take forward and find. So these are some of the gifts that I have that I really just and I think big. I see things bigger than they are.
Yeah. So you are a visionary. This
Yeah,
is the word.
yeah, definitely visionary.
Mhm.
Uh, it's important in collaboration to have somebody who can be, for example, the carpenter. I am not going to be the carpenter. I love their skills, and I would like to say I could.
Mhm.
That person I want on my team because that's really important how we the carpenter has to see the big picture of everything, not just the project they're working on with the drill. And the idea person has to have that person and surrounded in their environment that will because we each have those gifts. And that's why I think strategic partnerships, joint ventures work well together when everybody is bringing who they are towards that one unique goal for everybody to share in that destination where we're heading.
Yes. Wow. To share a goal. This sounds beautiful. Okay. And now my last question is when people reach out to you, and they will after listening to this episode, do you have special offers or services?
I know, speaking of collaborations, we've uh,
Mhm.
there was a group of us, 8 of us together, and I like the power of eight. It's almost like infinity on its side. And we wrote a book called Getting Unhacked. How do we unhack our mind? One of our lead writers is a cybersecurity expert.
Mhm.
Another one is a tremendous speaking expert. Another one works in health. So there's a variety of different backgrounds, and we came together to tell a small part of our stories and how these tools and resources. But because we studied, we took the time to move forward and study. We start noticing life to be different. We notice life to be different. And that's how we can make an impact. So we have a book, Getting Unhacked. It's on Amazon, and I share that on my LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn, and I love having conversations like with we're having here, Caroline. And that's what I really love doing, networking and learning how as a master connector, how can I connect two people and resources together so this way everybody can achieve more. I love from the sports analogy, a team is together, everyone achieves more. And I really like that approach to life.
Yeah, that's so true. And I appreciate you, and also that you are a great connector. Like I learned to be that way as well. So you are a great example for me. And this is also why I started the podcast to connect people, and to present people to the world and their mission. And I love your book project as well. So I will put the link in the show notes, of course, and please reach out to Phil. He's amazing. He loves to be connected or to connect people as well, to mastermind, and to tell you more about all his offers. Thank you so much. Do you have a last message for our community?
Oh, well, thank you I'm grateful for this time we shared together, Carolyn, and you're doing such great work and service where you're having great messages and bringing people together. And like everything that we do is a cause and effect because of the service that you do to the world. My tension and blessings are that you receive more so an abundance of benefits and gifts as well yourself. And people should be in touch with you because you keep everybody to be connected and to have dynamic conversations.
Oh, yes, this was your message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy that we did this interview. Okay, then have an amazing evening and see you in the next episode.